Okay, we're going to first start with the ball that's hit right at you. And the reason we're going to start with that ground ball is because I think it's the toughest one to field. Everyone might say the backhand, the slow roll of the ball to the glove hand side, a V-cut ground ball might be the most difficult, but I think that the ground ball that's most difficult to field is the ball that's hit right at you. And the reason I say that is because of a few reasons. One of them is anytime something's hit toward an infielder, they have a little bit of a tendency to let the ball play them, or a tendency to freeze if it's hit real hard. The second reason for the ball hit right at them that makes it a little bit more difficult than the others, I think, is because it's tougher to judge the distance of the hops. And the example that I normally give when I'm talking about infield play is if you're standing on the straightaway at the Kentucky Derby and those thoroughbreds are coming after you and coming straight towards you, it's very difficult to know when those hooves are going to hit the next time around. If you stand off to the side or create an angle, or if you're in the box looking down on those horses, you can see where those hooves are going to hit every 21 feet or so, and you can have better anticipation about where that ball is going to bounce. And the same thing with the speed. The speed, if you stand on the interstate and you're looking at a Mack truck coming at you, it's difficult to tell whether it's going to 50 miles an hour, 60 miles an hour, 70 miles an hour. But if you stand off to the side at the rest area and you're looking down, you can see and have a little bit better idea whether that truck is moving 50 miles an hour, 60 miles an hour, 70 miles an hour. And I think those are two really good examples to teach kids and tell kids how difficult it is to anticipate the ball coming right at them, anticipating the speed and judging the distance of the hops. So that's why it takes a lot of time, that's why it takes a lot of repetition, and that's why it's very important to start, I think, your young infielders with balls that are hit right at them. The other thing that I think goes wrong when the kids hit a ball right at them is that they have a tendency to stand up and they change their eye level up high and then they bring it back down to where the baseball is. And that can be a problem. And they let the ball play them. So they've got to learn to attack the baseball. They've got to learn to try to keep the glove open and the palm open to the ball all of the time because the ball is moving toward them and they're moving toward the baseball. The next thing I think is real important is that your infielders understand that they have to try to field the ball on the top of the hop or the down hop or just as the ball makes contact with the ground on the short hop. And they want to try to avoid that in-between hop where the ball hits and it accelerates by picking up topspin and it gets in up underneath them, and then they start fielding the ball underneath their body. So if they can have a clear understanding that they want to field the ball and accelerate, slow down, whatever they have to do to field the ball on the top of the hop, or field it as it's decelerating on the way down, or as it just makes contact with the ground on the short hop, they're going to be much more successful than getting the ball that's in between. Okay, as I mentioned, we're going to start with the ground ball that's hit right at you. And as I told you before, I think this is the most difficult one to field. And the reason I said that is because you have a tendency to freeze. What we want to try to have our kids do is we want to anticipate the ball coming to them, we want them to be aggressive, and we want to attack the baseball, and we want to try to create an angle. The first thing we tell our kids to do is, by anticipating and having the right first step, is take a step with your right, left, and then just a little bit of a jump step to ready for the baseball. The second thing we tell our kids to do is to try to keep the palm of the glove open to the ball all of the time. And I'll explain to you why we do that as we go along, but I think it's very important that we try to teach them early to keep the palm of the glove open to the baseball. The next thing, as I talked about before, was trying to attack the baseball and create an angle. So we're going to move to the baseball, we're going to try to create an angle toward our target as we approach the baseball without losing any time to the ball. As we're moving to the ball, the glove is open all the time, and one of the coaching points I think is real important is try to keep the elbow in, which keeps the palm of the glove open. If you turn the elbow out, you start to close the face of the glove, which makes it a little more difficult to field and waste time when it comes back toward time to field the baseball. As we approach the baseball, we're looking to try to get one of three hops. The top of the hop, which would be the ball at the very top. The ball is decelerating on the way down, the down hop, or the ball just takes off the ground, short hop, before it has a tendency, before it has a chance to hit, pick up topspin, and eat you up inside on the in-between hop or the hop that you wanted on the up hop. I'm looking for a ball that's short hop, down hop, or top of the hop, and I'm going to accelerate to that ball to make sure that happens, or I'm going to decelerate and I'm going to come under control when it's time to field it. As I move to the baseball and create my angle, my palm is open. I'm going to field the ball from the out to the in and the down to the up. And I'm going to feel it off the glove hand eye, the left side of my body, and I'm going to try to square my feet off to the flight of the baseball. The reasons for that is I want to try to get the hands out as far as I can so I can create soft hands. If my hands are underneath me, they're going to be a little bit harder and I'm going to be jabbing at the baseball. I'm going to field it from the out to the in. The reason I get as far as I can out by sitting on the ball, we call it sitting on the ball and getting our butt down, is I want my hands as far as I possibly can because it gives me a little bit of a margin for error as well. So if I flinch a little bit early or I leave a little bit early, I'm moving with the flight of the baseball. Whereas if I've got my hands underneath me and I leave a little bit early, I am going up and creating an error problem. So get your hands out in front, get your hand over the top, your right hand over the top, almost like an alligator's jaws. Work from the out to the in, and from the down below the baseball to the up, and bring it into your stomach, feel it off the glove hand eye, and then once we come into the stomach, we start to move the ball to the shoulder, which is the throwing area. And as we do, we want to cross over in front with our feet, stay compact, and when we release the baseball, try to take our belt buckle to our target, stay compact with the front side, keep our fingers behind the baseball, elbow high. We want to throw, and we want to release the baseball, and we want to follow our throw to our target and do what I call nose to leather, which means we stay nose on the throw until it touches the leather of your partner. And so there's the basic points again: aggressive, palm open, create an angle, feel the ball from the out to the in, down to the up, off the glove hand eye of your body, squared off feet, stomach to shoulder, fingers behind the baseball, elbow high, stay compact, and throw and release the ball nose to leather. Okay, here we go. When you're taking young infielders, it's very important that you just start with a very fundamental progression and make it logical. And the first thing we're going to do with our infielders to show you what we do with our players here at Clemson is they'll come out and we'll work on their technique and we'll field ground balls with no ball. Then we'll take a stationary ball and they'll field ground balls with a stationary ball. And then we'll roll them ground balls right at them and we'll work on their technique. Fourth thing that we'll do is we'll take a light fungo and just hit balls off the bat and a very light fungo to them and try to reiterate keeping the glove down, palm open, feeling off the glove hand eye, out to the in, down to the up, working below the baseball, stomach to shoulder, squaring their feet off and staying compact to their target. And so right now I'll just send these our two infielders here. You guys go ahead and just come through and feel the ground ball as if it was hit at you, kind of an imaginary deal, palm open. Good. Go ahead, Trip. Palm open, travel low. The second step that we would do is we would try to talk to our players about staying very low, keeping the palm open in their approach, and we'll put a stationary ball out there. And we'll just imagine that it's been hit off the bat. Step 3 would be to roll a ball in a very controlled situation where they don't have to panic and go back to their bad habits if you hit it off the fungo, if you're playing live baseball. So we're just going to control it by rolling the ball to them. The fourth part of our progression would be to just go one small step further than rolling the ball, and that is to hit a light fungo. Just so it's coming off the bat, they get a little different view. Step 5 would be just a little bit longer fungo from a little bit longer distance from where we were before, with a little bit more firmness on the fungo, and hoping that they don't go back to their bad technique and that they stay with the fundamentals that we've just been talking about.